Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Janis, Carmena. Welcome back to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. This is take 2. I'm so grateful you're able to come back and join me today. We're going to talk about your wonderful, very successful ECommerce Queen Bee.com is the name of your business. And you're going to help people discover how they can get their product out there authentically. Because that word gets used a lot, but what does that mean? So we're going to go there. But before we go there, share a little bit about your background with our audience.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I love selling on Amazon. So I'm actually a police officer. So I started this as a side gig. Right. And it's like the perfect side gig because everything's automated and Amazon will sell everything for you as soon as you find a product that you can promote on and off of Amazon. So you find that one product, you put your brand on it, you send it to Amazon. Amazon does everything for you. And that's what I do. And that's what I help other people do.
And what thought for you when you were deciding, hey, I'm going to do this gig? And I read your bio. You said, hey, I was a police officer. What I love most about it is the unpredictability. It's always different. It's always new. It's exciting. And you said entrepreneurship's a perfect natural fit because you've got that going on. But why selling products? Why not something else? What brought you to the, selling products in particular?
Well, I was doing the thing where I was at home and I had those 4 days off because I was working 2 days, 2 nights, 4 off. So I had time off and I was like, well, what am I going to do? Because my kids were older, they were at school. So I was doing the Googling. I was Google job to make money at home, stay at home, make money with my laptop. I was doing a whole bunch of searches and just looking through everything, and everything kept coming up as MLM, right? Doing network marketing or selling multi-level products. But I didn't want to sell products that everybody else was selling. I couldn't get behind that. And all around me, I was walking through, I'd be walking through stores or in my kitchen or on my boat looking around going, I really wish someone made one of these, or I really wish someone made this a bit better. And I'm like, well, why don't I do that? And so I did a bit more research and found something called private label, where I could liaise with manufacturers in Asia or anywhere in the world, be in Canada or the States or anywhere. And together I can get them to manufacture the product that I wanted, but with my brand on it. And then I can sell it and I don't have to compete with anybody for my brand. It was my own product and my own brand line. And it gave me that sense of fulfillment because it was my baby and I was building it up versus, again, like MLM, selling other people's products.
Yeah. I love that. Now, one thing that when we first spoke, the idea of authenticity. You hear the word thrown around all over the place. Be authentic as a business owner, as a person. But what is the misconceptions people have about what that means from your perspective?
I think people with authentic is just, the misconceptions is not really knowing who they are first to sell their product and not really knowing what their story is, right? Like when I develop a product line, it's usually something that happened in my life that has caused me to create that line. And I tell that story. And I don't tell the story to people that this is why I needed it, right? I tell them the story so they come to the realization that they need that product also. I need them to have that emotional connection because sales is all about emotions. So yes, I'll tell you the story of what caused me to come to it, but I want you through my story to realize that you need this product in your life also.
Yeah, I like that you say that, Janis, because I had heard someone a while back, and I don't remember who it is, who said, people often will try to sell something and they will tell you all the features. It's so great. It's the perfect pen. It's whatever. But what they're missing is that what really sells is the stories. The stories sell the information, the facts, they just tell. But it's that story, that emotional compellant that really gets people pulled into your product, service, or information.
Well, we all love stories. Do you remember sitting on your bed and having your grandma read you a book or your mom reading you a book? I love stories, and stories sell. Stories have that emotional connection that people can relate to. So if you can tell the story of your product or the story that came about for your product to be developed, people will remember that versus, oh yeah, it's very stylish, it's waterproof, it's blah, 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 blah. Who cares? This was developed because of this. Janis came to this realization. It's such a cool story. Well, I need that product too.
Yeah. Now, someone's getting started. Maybe they were in the same position you're in where they're like, I want to sell something. Hey, what Janis is saying sounds good. Maybe I could do what she's doing. Where do they begin to find out like what product they could sell or how to go about the whole process? What would that look like? Do you have any suggestions for them?
Well, there's a couple things. I kind of did it the hard part. I tried to learn everything by myself and I lost a lot of money. I'm just going to tell you that. I lost a lot of time and money trying to learn everything by myself and I was overwhelmed. There's so much information on the internet. It is crazy. And so much competing information. You never know what works and what is right. So I always say, try and find that right course for you or that mentor or that person that you can bounce ideas off and really relate to. Sorry, you're waving.
No, I saw a fly going like this. You won't go away. Sorry.
This is an authentic podcast right there. Find that right person that you can relate to, that you can listen to and bounce ideas off of, and find a course that works for you, because the course will save you time and money. And you can learn from that person's mistakes because they're going to tell you their story. They're going to tell you the mistakes they made. So why make the same mistake when you can learn off of theirs? So that's what I always tell people to do.
That is fabulous advice. And one of my mentors says one of the things he gets working with people is they'll come to him and he'll talk to them and they'll say, oh, I went to 10 other people, mentors, coaches, whatever. And he's like, well, what did you get from them? And he's like, well, I studied with them. I'm still working with them, but I came to your thing too. And he's like, just take one guy that works for you, really get their material, their thing, what they have to offer you, apply it. And if it's not working for you, then move on. But just don't go course hop and go nowhere. Really implement and use the material so you're not wasting your time.
That's exactly it. You really implement the course that you take, because a lot of people don't implement. They'll get like 2 lessons in and they're like, yeah, I don't get it. So find someone that's going to hold you accountable also and really keep your interest so that you are going to develop that whole product and go step by step by step. It's like a university course, right? Like we pay to go to university. So, and to learn stuff, like say I took a marketing course at the University of Victoria here. I paid like $500-$600 to take this course. And I went every night on Wednesday for 3 hours. So taking an online course is exactly the same thing. Book time to do that course and consider it a university course. You are learning how to run your business. It's the same thing. It's just not a traditional university or college that you're going to.
Yeah, it's so true. And one thing I think that happens, Janis, is the most successful people we've had on Savvy, the reason they got there is the consistency and keeping at it and being tenacious. It's not a one step. I think sometimes what I've gotten from people who even come to Savvy, show me what you did. I want to get that podcast up and rolling and have mad listens and do, whatever, but they don't want to put in the work. And with building a great product, a great podcast, whatever it might be, it's going to take that consistent effort.
Oh, it definitely takes time. You're not going to be a millionaire overnight. I'm sorry. There's gurus out there that say, launch a product and sell thousands in one night. It doesn't happen. You have to really build up the off traffic also for your product. Yeah. Right. So, but you're building a real business, and a real business isn't an overnight success. There may be like one in every, 10 million, but it doesn't happen that way. You have to be consistent and put the time in and put the effort in and learn as much as you can and just keep learning.
Yeah. And not every product is going to be a home run, perhaps. I mean, that's, I think what happens with, business. You'll start a business or an idea. It doesn't work out. You have to tweak it maybe, or maybe start with something else, depending on,
Oh, exactly it. I remember talking to one guy and it took him 1,000 podcasts before people started listening. This is a well-known name. Like if I said it out loud, everybody would be like, I know that one. 1,000 podcasts he put out there before actually people started downloading and listening. So you have to be consistent. So with your product, be consistent in putting your product out there and putting the message out there. It may not sell right away, but the momentum will come as long as you don't give up. It's like, have you seen that cartoon where you've got the 2 miners digging in the tunnels? Yeah. And the one kind of turns around and gives up and walks away. But if you looked and if he had dug maybe like 2 more feet, all the diamonds were there.
Yes. Yes.
I love that cartoon because it totally relates to me in business. You never know when 2 more feet you're going to hit that diamond or hit that perfect product, and it's just going to blow up.
And here's the other thing. You had said there's a lot of people promising the world, the stars, the moon. That's the point I want to make. And I'm thinking if you hear something, some guru out there saying, I can promise to make you a millionaire, just run. Because usually the old saying goes, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Exactly. I just had a podcast. It was very clickbaity. And the podcast basically said, how I bought a $2 million yacht for no money. I was like, yeah, okay.
Not realistic. Not really. Now, tell us, how do they work with you? Because you have a wonderful company, and it is ECommerceQueenBee.com. What is it that you do, and how do you help people?
Well, I have my own brands that I run and sell on Amazon, and I sell off Amazon too. So I am doing it, right?
Okay.
The products are going. I'm doing that process. Everything's fairly automated, which is nice. But I wanted to give back. So what happened in policing is about a year ago, I got hurt. And I kind of had to come off the road, and I really lost that sense of helping people. And I needed to find that back again. So I was like, well, what do I do in my life that I can use again and help people? Well, I actually have a teaching degree from like 20 years ago. I taught high school for a year, figure that one out. So I kind of pulled back and I said, I love teaching and I love helping people and I love giving information and having people bounce ideas off of me and working together to help people. So I started ECommerce Queen Bee, which helps people develop brands, which is exactly what I do. So finding your perfect product, launching it, talking with manufacturers, putting your brand on it, listing it, and selling it. So we have a boot camp right now, which is free, right? Like, just try it. I guarantee at the end of the boot camp, you will have your own Amazon store up and going, right? So there's no money down, just try it, right?
Yeah.
And then I do have a course that helps you find your perfect product, which is $27. I kept it low, right? I want people to try and find their perfect product so they can launch it, because people out there have amazing ideas in their head. And if they can get that idea out, it's probably going to make your life and my life a lot easier, right? Because please develop your product, because again, I probably need it in my life. So I want people to get their products out there and get them developed. And then if you get really lost and you just want someone to lead you through the whole process, I do a step-by-step course. And this is a course I developed that I wish I had 4 years back. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, why doesn't this course exist? And that's what I did, is I created the course right from not knowing what the heck you're doing, step by step, leading you through the whole process to selling on Amazon, scaling, finding the right team to help you outsource and scale your brand off of Amazon. Also, right to when you build a whole brand and when you're ready to exit, you have an exit strategy there and you can sell your brand as a legitimate business.
That is fabulous. You had just mentioned at the beginning how hard you had to work, the trial and error. How many of us have done that in our own business? And then years later, here, I just met someone this week. I said, if only I had known you 4 or 5 years ago. That's always the case. But here you are, willing to assist and give them the information so they don't have to go on that long trek. They could do it a lot easier by going to ECommerceQueenBee.com, correct?
Yeah, perfect. And you know what? It saves you time and money. You can get your product launched faster by finding the right person to help you do it.
Awesome. Well, this has been truly informative. I'm hoping anyone out there who had a passion in their heart to get that idea out there is finally going to give you a holler today. Go on that website, get hooked up so they can get their idea out into the marketplace and help people. Thank you so much, Janis.
Thank you so much. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And people, this podcast is amazing. Thank you so much. Please throw a review. You don't understand how important reviews are for podcasts, because then we can keep getting that value from these people who spend so much time putting the information out there. So I truly appreciate everything you do. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Janis. God bless. Have a great night.
Take care.
If you like this episode, please share. To hear more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to lifeunscriptedradio.com. To become a guest or participate in paid sponsorship, email us at Christina@lifeunscriptedradio.com.